Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting. Today, high-stakes nuclear diplomacy collapses. Saudi Arabia quietly reroutes millions of barrels of oil, and the AI job market flashes a massive collective action warning.
Yeah, that is quite the lineup for today.
It really is. And, if you are listening to this right now, consider this deep dive your personal executive briefing.
Right.
We're cutting through all the noise to bring you the day's most critical market, tech, and cultural shifts. I will be your driver today, setting the pace on what is breaking across the wire. And the analyst sitting across from me is our resident cynic. They are here to look past the headlines, right? To figure out who actually wins, who loses, and what second-order effects are about to hit your portfolio.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is the goal, because the headlines you see on your feed, they're mostly just engineered to farm engagement.
Exactly.
The real signal is always buried in the logistics, like the supply chains and the physical infrastructure. When you follow where the heavy machinery is actually moving, that's when you find out what the smart money believes.
Okay, well, I want to test that theory immediately with the geopolitical board, because we are tracking a massive story out of Islamabad.
Right, the talks.
Yeah, the U.S.-Iran nuclear talks have totally collapsed.
Yeah.
We're looking at a thread from the Kobesi letter detailing this 21-hour marathon of direct substantive discussions.
Which is huge.
It is. I mean, direct negotiations of this caliber between these two haven't happened since, like, 1979.
Yeah.
But the sticking point was that Iran just flat out refused to offer a commitment not to develop a nuclear weapon. Eric Doherty actually highlighted J.D. Vance's response, framing this as bad news for Iran because, they were handed terms and just walked away.
Right, they walked.
But, I don't know, I look at this and see a classic negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this just the modern version of a Cold War staring contest?
How so?
Like, where mutually assured destruction is the only thing keeping the peace. Are they just pushing it to the brink, or is deterrence actually failing here?
See, I think you're falling into the trap of analyzing their words instead of their actions.
Yeah.
Because if this were purely diplomatic theater, you wouldn't see neighboring countries spending literal billions of dollars to physically alter the Earth's geography.
Wait, what do you mean alter geography?
Well, the smart money isn't waiting for diplomacy to work. Look at the post-watcher guru highlighted today about Saudi Arabia.
Oh, the pipeline.
Exactly. They have completely restored their east-west pipeline. They are now pumping, get this, 7 million barrels of crude oil a day directly to the Red Sea port of Yanbu.
7 million barrels a day. But why the Red Sea? I mean, they already have massive export terminals on the Persian Gulf, right?
Yeah, but exporting from the Persian Gulf requires sailing through the Strait of Hormuz. That
Yeah.
waterway is the ultimate geopolitical trap. It's the exact choke point Iran threatens. If things go south, 20% of global oil is instantly cut off.
Wow.
So by routing 7 million barrels a day directly to the Red Sea, Saudi Arabia is completely bypassing the strait. It is pure risk mitigation. They are literally rerouting the global energy supply chain.
Okay, that completely reframes the Islamabad breakdown.
Yeah.
We aren't just watching a staring contest. The Saudis are laying pipe to escape the blast radius of a failed treaty.
Precisely. And, while we see this massive physical infrastructure shifting to avoid a crisis, there is a totally different kind of structural collapse happening right under our noses in the tech labor market.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the AI jobs crisis.
Yeah.
It's moving from, like, an abstract fear to a macroeconomic reality.
Very quickly, too.
Yeah, El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, posted about this today. We're looking at projections of over 300,000 tech layoffs globally in 2026.
It's staggering.
And Bukele explicitly framed this as a textbook collective action problem. Every company is cutting workers to compete, but collectively, they are destroying consumer demand.
All right.
It reminds me of Henry Ford. He paid his workers enough so they could actually buy his cars.
Yeah, exactly.
If these tech companies optimize their costs to zero by firing everyone, I mean, who is left to buy the software? Are they just optimizing their way into a recession?
The math suggests they really might be. And if you look at the viral post from Bucco Capital today, he points out that the rampant fear on the ground is just palpable.
Oh, I bet.
From individual contributors all the way up to directors, everyone is terrified of being replaced by AI. But here is where the market mechanics get incredibly cynical.
Okay, lay it on me.
The AI labs themselves are intentionally pushing doomerism.
Wait, the idea that AI is dangerously powerful?
Yes, they are heavily leaning into this narrative that they are building an omnipotent digital god just to juice their IPO valuations.
Wow. So they sell fear to inflate the stock.
Exactly. But it's actually backfiring now. We are seeing a growing pushback. Look at the rise of datacenterbands.com.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, local governments are realizing that energy consumption is insane. So we are seeing these state-level moratoriums on AI infrastructure just pop up everywhere.
But the fear isn't totally unfounded, right? I mean, the capabilities driving it are real.
Oh, the tech is very real.
Yeah. Testing Catalog dropped a breakdown today of OpenAI's experimental Codex Scratchpad. And this fundamentally alters knowledge work.
How so?
Well, Scratchpad allows users to load up a TDO list, and it executes multiple AI chats and tasks in parallel. You aren't just chatting anymore. You are managing a fleet of digital workers simultaneously.
So it's a super app.
Exactly. It's paving the way for a Codex super app. It's the automation of entire middle management workflows all at once.
Which perfectly explains why the workforce is experiencing such whiplash.
Totally. And VC Mark Andreessen, from his handle PMarca, he captured this manic vibe perfectly today.
Oh, I saw that. The 3 states of modern being.
Yes. He defined them as AI euphoria, AI psychosis, and AI psychosis.
It's so accurate. We are just panicking about the panic at this point while the industry drowns in hype and regulatory backlash.
Well, let's pivot to a tech sector that is actually executing flawlessly by solving physical, real-world problems.
Okay, let's do it.
Space. David Senra posted a clip today of Mark Andreessen calling Starlink the most misunderstood success story in tech.
I completely agree with him on that.
But see, I remember when Bill Gates and Craig McCaw tried satellite internet with Teledesic in the 90s, and they went totally bankrupt.
Right.
So what makes Elon Musk's Starlink any different? Or is it just like a billionaire's side project?
Oh, it's not a side project. The difference is pure economics, specifically vertical integration. Musk didn't just build satellites.
He built the rocket.
Exactly. SpaceX built reusable rockets. Look at the post from SpaceX today showing the nighttime launch of the Falcon 9 carrying Northrop Grumman's Cygnus XL.
That footage was incredible.
It's amazing. But the key is that reliable, low-cost delivery system. That is why Starlink now has 10 million subscribers. They solved the payload-to-orbit cost equation.
And the real-world use case for that infrastructure is just staggering. Logan Kilpatrick, he's an AI lead at Google. He posted from the handle OfficialLoganK about this.
Oh, the installation story.
Yeah. He moved in the Bay Area, couldn't get legacy internet installed for days. So he gets a Starlink Standard 4 kit delivered, and he has it online in under an hour. In the rain. In the Bay Area.
He completely bypassed the terrestrial bottleneck.
Exactly. And if we zoom out to the bigger space picture, this reliable infrastructure is enabling a broader renaissance. The NASA Administrator posted today celebrating the Artemis II splashdown. We just safely returned the first crewed mission beyond low Earth orbit in 50 years.
It's a huge milestone, and our understanding of the universe is exploding alongside it.
Oh, definitely.
Did you see the viral video from Constructivism?
I think so, the exoplanet one.
Yeah, it's an animated visualization of hundreds of multi-planet systems discovered by the Kepler telescope. It proves that tightly packed planetary systems are actually super common in the Milky Way.
Wow. It really makes you reflect, though, like, our successes in space make our failures on Earth look even more glaring.
What do you mean?
Well, what happens when we abandon ambitious infrastructure projects here on Earth just because of fear?
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, there was this fascinating alternative history lesson posted by Crimeo Recule today about Richard Nixon's 1973 Project Independence.
Right, the nuclear plan.
Exactly. Nixon wanted to build 1,000 nuclear plants by the year 2000. 1,000.
Which is mind-blowing.
If we had built those, I mean, we could have defeated climate change and electric bills entirely. Did we just let regulatory panic and public fear rob us of a clean energy future?
We absolutely did. We let bureaucratic fear throttle our infrastructure, and that has a massive second-order effect today, which is that public trust in institutions is at an all-time low.
Oh, complete.
Because of these historical missteps, people are just bypassing the consensus to seek out their own data.
Now, before we dive into this next piece of data, I want to pause and be unequivocally clear with you listening.
Yes, very important disclaimer here.
We are strictly reporting on claims made in a highly viral post from our source material. We are taking no sides. We are not endorsing the viewpoints of the content. We are simply sharing the claims impartially to show you what is driving the cultural conversation.
Exactly. We were just looking at the trend. So, There is a highly viral post today from Peter Sweden 7 regarding testimony given at Germany's Corona Enquete Commission.
Oh.
According to the post, Dr. Helmut Sturz, who is cited as a former head of toxicology at Pfizer Europe, claimed that the mRNA vaccine skipped key toxicology and carcinogenicity steps for emergency approval.
Wow. Yeah.
And he controversially estimated 20,000 to 60,000 vaccine-related deaths in Germany. That is drastically higher than the official figure of 2,133.
Oh, man.
So you can imagine this is driving massive debate online right now about transparency and excess mortality. People are seeking out this alternative data because they lack trust.
Right. And that DAY data trend extends straight into personal health optimization, too.
Oh, for sure.
Like, look at the post from Lavelcio today. He explains how people are using Doppler ultrasound scans of their carotid arteries to check for plaque buildup.
Bypassing the normal tests.
Exactly. They are bypassing traditional cholesterol metrics entirely to validate their low-carb, high-meat diets. They want the raw mechanical data, not the institutional proxy.
It is peak decentralization of truth. But, when you contrast that personal precision with global affairs, it's just absurd.
Absurd how?
Look at the Polymarket report today. Uganda's military chief just demanded $1 billion from Turkey.
Wait, why?
And, quote, the most beautiful woman in that country for a wife.
You are kidding me.
Nope. He threatened to close the embassy if the demands aren't met. It is just a cynical reminder of how completely unhinged the timeline has become in global politics compared to tech.
That is just wild. Okay, let's pull all these threads together for the listener. There is a great mindset check from the Danko today.
Oh, I love his stuff.
He said, nobody accidentally gets rich or builds a great physique. It has to become your one true priority and obsession for years.
Which ties perfectly into the focus required for things like Starlink.
Exactly. And playfully, if your personal obsession involves typing on a Mac, you need the terminal hack posted by ReachVB today.
Oh, a keyboard speed trick.
Yes. You set your key repeat to 1 in the terminal, and it drastically speeds up your keyboard response time. It completely removes the friction.
I might actually have to go do that right after we wrap.
Highly recommend it. But all right, I need your prediction for tomorrow based on all these trends.
Okay, prediction for tomorrow. As AI fears intersect with massive energy demands, we are going to see a severe clash between the tech sector and local governments. Expect the AI infrastructure backlash to accelerate, with more states introducing emergency data center bans before the end of the week.
You heard the analyst. Thank you so much for joining the Daily Vibecasting. We will catch you on the next Deep Dive.
And I'll leave you with one final lingering question to ponder. If the U.S.-Iran nuclear talks failed today, and Nixon's nuclear missions failed 50 years ago due to public fear, what does our historic inability to manage atomic power say about our readiness to govern the coming AI explosion?